buildingkan aad buu noo caawiyay runtii fiican.
Neighborhood House, we've been the 911 or the 411 for our community. If something happens in our community, boom, Neighborhood House is going to be called. You know, and people have an issue, they're going to call Neighborhood House. And I tell folks, and this is a true story, that that being that 911 or that 411 agency for their community, I mean, I've had calls from people complaining that they still haven't got their orders right at Burger King, to you know, actually people that have been murdered, and you know, trying to get some legal help for some of these folks. So, and everything in between. So we run the gamut. Neighbor and Neighborhood House, I think that's what's been important for us, is that we've been that neighbor, and we need to continue to be that neighbor in Neighborhood House. We need to be that persons that people can turn to in times of crisis, and in times of needs, or just in times of questions. We need to be there, and we are there. The folks that come and use our facilities, it's the way it's always been. Folks are coming new to St. Paul. Folks are coming new to Minnesota. It always seems that Neighborhood House seems to be the stopping point, and people, you know, establish roots, and some stay generationally, and others move on. I've been blessed to being able to work with a lot of different communities that have come to the Neighborhood House. Working with the Hmong community, and started reading more about the Irish and the Italians, how that immigration happened, and then even the Mexicans, how they migrated here to the United States. One key factor that seemed to always kind of what was a common denominators for all these groups was that they came here to make a better lot in life for their family. They came here with the idea of hard. Give me an honest day's pay, and I'll give you an honest day's work. And talking about having their children, making their children say, you know what, when you're going to go out there in the world, remember, don't bring shame on our name. You know, be thoughtful, be respectful, and that thing it seems to have crossed all immigrants that come here to Minnesota. At least that's what I feel. That's been my experience.
Well, when I first came to Minnesota, that was about 16 years ago or so. It was very, very difficult not to be able to communicate, to speak the language, you know. I felt very dependent and just like a child. First days, I felt very, you know, excited to being in a new land, you know, getting to know new people. But at the same time, it was, I was homesick, you know, my family in Peru, and I didn't know how to speak any English or to drive, so those were very, very difficult times for me. When I was pregnant to my first child, I wasn't working, I was taking some English classes, and my husband was going to school full-time, so we got some help from the social services from the food shelf. You know, that was a great help.
When I worked in the food shelf, if we saw 80 people a month, we were busting at the seams. Now we're up to the 300s level of folks coming to use our food shelf, the emergency food shelf.
Hi, I'm David Tao, and I'm at the St. Paul Farmers Market. Way back in the early 80s, we used to live at the projects, kind of close to where the Neighborhood House is, and we tend to utilize that place when we came here back in the early 80s. So now is the opportunity where we're a little bit more affluent, just to give back to the community and to donate a lot of vegetables to them. So we have 65-acre farms down Northfield, And mostly on Sundays is the time that we donate to the neighborhood house as a charity, give back to the community as they give back to us when we came here back in the early 80s.
I moved up from Chicago when I was 11 years old. I moved right over into the projects over there. You know, it was pretty rough early going, you know, getting into trouble, running around different gangs. You know, I was more the kid that when people really wanted to do something really to the extreme, stupid, illegal, get into trouble, I was a kid that always said, all right, see you guys later, and went the other way. Dude, I think neighborhood house gives you a peace of mind. I really do. When you're coming from out of state and you don't know anybody, you have no resources, you don't have no family or friends, neighborhood house will become their resource. They will become their family or friend. The biggest thing it did for me, too, really was just put me on track. To be positive. It gave me other options than ripping and running the street. And I think that was the biggest thing I need to thank, you know, Gilbert and Neighborhood House for. You know, when a lot of friends of mine was getting into trouble, I was here playing basketball. I was here at the after school program Gilbert introduced me to. I was here at their, they had like an open playground session over here. I was over there. Like I said, I ate dinner down here every day from 5 to 7 when they served a program down called Loaves and Fishes that served anybody and everybody in the neighborhood and the community that needed food. And, you know, having positive role models like Gilbert that would always redirect me when I was off track and tell me, hey, shouldn't you be playing basketball? The gym will be open this Saturday from now on for you guys.
All of the coaches at one time come through neighborhood house programming. They understand the importance of, you know, involving kids in positive stuff because they were involved. So if we don't harness that, you know, we're going to have kids that are going to be left out for the pickings, and we don't know who's going to pick them up, and we ought to be concerned about that.